Hi everyone, it's Sarah here. Today I'm going to be working in my Project Life album using the gorgeous new Felicity Jane collection. This is the Lindsey kit. And I had some problems with this footage. I was trying out a new camera setting, so things are going to look a little bit weird throughout this video. I have that weird shadow up at the top and the angles are going to be a little bit off. And on top of that, I also lost the first 10 minutes of my footage, but I'm going to try to share with you what I did in those 10 minutes, which was put this little love card together and pick out some of my cards. And I still just wanted to share this footage with you so you can see kind of how this layout comes together. So what I did for that love card is I used a 3x4 card from the kit, and then I used a piece of pattern paper and I ran it through my die cutting machine using some of the dies that were available for this month. And so I used the LOVE letters and I cut them out from this pattern paper. And then what I'm doing is I'm just going in with a makeup sponge and a little bit of black dye ink. And I'm going from behind and just kind of inserting it into the letters just to create this sort of shadowing effect. And it's just a really subtle outline on those letters. And that way I can use kind of a tone on tone effect, have that pattern paper that's the same color as the card kind of laying on top of it. And it's just kind of a nice subtle way for that word to just stand out on that card. And it creates this kind of look of a pocket, which I'm going to put a square photo just right on top of my card and tuck it underneath the love sentiment, and it'll look kind of like it's sitting in that pocket there. So that's what I did when my footage was cut off. And then I also picked out my cards. I went through the journaling cards that were available in the Lindsey kit, and I also cut down a piece of 6x6 pattern paper, which is not in the kit, but it is available in the shop. And I will link everything down below so you can find all the products that I'm using on this page, because some things are from the kit and other things are just available kind of as add-ons in the shop. So I'm taking these wood veneer hearts and I'm going to be adding those to my photo. I really love how some of those hearts are outlines and then some are like the insides and some are really thin, which is so perfect for Project Life or Traveler's Notebooks. But you also get some thicker wood pieces as well. So quite a variety and mixture of wood pieces in that pack. And I'm kind of going through and picking out some embellishments. So I had a ton of journaling and photos for this week. I did some of my journaling on my photos, which I don't do very often, but I had some sort of longer stories that I wanted to tell. And these photos that I took them on a white backdrop, which allowed me to just have some negative space that I could do my journaling in Photoshop. So I just typed my stories out directly on there, and then you can see I added a little bit of stamping to that bottom right-hand photo. And then I just added a little silicone embellishment on top of one of those hearts. I'm trying not to embellish or do a ton of stamping just because I already have so much going on this page. So I'm just kind of letting the colors be little pops of brightness throughout my page and not trying to do too much. I'm also trying to give the eye a bit of a break and create some white spaces around the page. I did want to stamp out January so I could remember that this spread was for January. I am doing my spreads monthly, so I'm not putting in specific dates here, but I went ahead and stamped January. I love those scripty month stamps that released from Felicity Jane. They're so pretty. So I just stamped that out using some of the negative space in that 3x4 photo, and then again I'm doing some journaling there, just trying to find little areas that I can put in some journaling. I'm starting to adhere things onto my cards. I think one thing that threw this layout off a little bit is actually that photo that I'm putting down right there. I wanted to include kind of the weekly forecast because we had an unusual amount of rain in Southern California. I can't even remember the last time that we got this much rain, so I wanted to include that. But I wish that I would have turned that photo to black and white because I feel like that dark blue is just, it doesn't really fit in on the page. So just a minor thing, but you know, it's not worth going back to reprint that. So I'm just going to go with it, and I'm totally okay with it. So I'm just putting some tabs on. I decided to use one of these really cute heartwood veneers. So I'm kind of playing around with this confetti look, and I'm putting them all over the card. But again, I figured that less is more in this case because I really needed that white space just to be kind of a break for the eye because there's so much going on. So I decided to just use one heart, and I'm going to use some of this, I think it's Tombow Mono glue. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember the name of it, but I will try to find it and link it below. But it works really great for adhering wood pieces onto card. Like that will never move because this glue just really gets pieces onto the page. So I thought that I was going to type out the journaling on that final journaling card just to kind of blend with the other type journaling that I have going on this page. But I thought that I was going to have some trouble just lining up the words onto those lines on the card. So I decided to go ahead and mix in some handwriting, just writing out a few just snippets of what is going on in these photos here. Again, these aren't really weekly spreads. These are kind of my leftover photos from the month. So just some additional stories that I'm trying to tell that'll finish up this month. So I hope that you still enjoyed this process, even though the footage was a little bit crazy. But if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.